house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 17 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Kevin, aka K-Nip's ex. What's up, dude? Kevin's been watching like forever, and I so appreciate that. So I hope you're doing awesome. Alright, so last night, just to review really quickly, Day won the last laugh, BB Takeover Power, so she canceled out 3 votes, Jackie, Jeff, and Becky. But it wasn't enough. She was still voted out by a vote of 7-2, so I'll miss her. So the 2 new HOHs this week, we have Austin and Vanessa. And the special guest for the BB Takeover is Rob Gronkowski. He's a New England Patriot. I don't think most of the house guests recognized him. In fact, I think like 1 or 2 did. It was like kind of awkward. Alright, so it's a party this week. There are no have-nots, and that's pretty much all we know about the takeover twist. There was some speculation that maybe the winners of the competitions are going to get some sort of special power on top of winning, because he was all like, I love winners, blah, blah, blah. So we'll see what happens with that. But after the live show, there was still some confusion amongst the house guests about who had the last laugh power, because it was a secret. And they were also trying to figure out who was the extra vote for Day besides Jason. So it looks like Audrey is up to her old tricks again. We know that she was the extra vote. It looks like she's maybe trying to frame someone. Maybe she's trying to say like, this person's America's player. It's kind of backfiring though, because a lot of people are like, it had to be Audrey. So some of them are even speculating like maybe she's America's player. So I don't know if that's a good move for her, but a lot of people want her to go this week. Fortunately for Audrey, doesn't look like the HOHs feel the same way. I so knew that this was going to happen. Okay, so Vanessa and Austin were having a strategy chat in the bathroom, and they were talking about how they don't want to go after Audrey this week. They'll let somebody else do it. Audrey is not a threat to them, so they don't feel like they need to get rid of her this week. And like I said, like I knew it was going to happen. So it sounds like Jeff and James should be worried this week. Jeff and James. It also sounds like Austin kind of wants to roll with the girls, because he's like, yeah, I want to keep Jeff away from Liz, and once Jeff is gone, he'll have Jackie, he'll be able to pull her in. There's some sort of weird like vampire thing there. Like, Austin's into some really freaky stuff, and I think he's really into that Jackie was like in some weird vampire show in Vegas. I don't know. But anyway, enough of that. Vanessa and Austin were discussing too, like ideally they want Vanessa to stay HOH this week so that Austin can compete in the next one, and it'll give Vanessa a chance to form some more bonds with people as the HOH. Alright, so while that discussion was going on, Jeff was lying in bed with Liz/Julia, and this is like kind of a controversial thing. So there was a story about this on TMZ, and they were reporting that Jeff, I can't even believe I have to say this, that Jeff was like touching himself under the covers while he was next to Julia. Ew! And then wiping his hands on Julia's back. Ew! So, I don't believe that's what was actually happening. They did post an update on the story a little while later with a different camera angle, and it didn't look like that was what was happening. This is what was going on. I'm pretty sure that he was trying to look for a birthmark on like either her neck or her back, because you know how he's all obsessed about like inspecting the twins to figure out which one's which. So I'm pretty sure that's what it was, but TMZ took it way out of context. They backed off a little bit, but still, like, what? That could be really damaging to someone's career, life. So that's pretty wild. But I want you guys to leave in the comments if you saw the video, like, what do you think's going on there? Alright, let's talk about a little lighter subject here. The HOH room reveal, yay! So Austin and Vanessa got their photos, snacks, booze, and they each got a CD to listen to. Interesting choices. Vanessa got Moby, and Austin got Clay Aiken! Austin is a Claymate! Who knew? Alright, so they also got letters from home. Austin got a letter from his parents, and Vanessa's was from her girlfriend. They were both very sweet letters, so yay! It's time to get down to business. So Audrey is up in the HOH room with Vanessa. She is freaking throwing Clay under the bus. Remember last week when Clay was all like, yeah, Shelly and I are saving you this week, so basically you have to do whatever we tell you. Oh, did you tell her to throw you under the bus? Because that's exactly what she's doing. So Audrey was like, yeah, Clay is working with the other side. And when she says the other side, she means Jeff, Jackie, Becky, James, Jason, and Meg. So she's like, I saw Clay during the HOH competition tonight. He was rooting for James. He didn't want you and Austin to win. And Vanessa was just like, what? But she was like, you know, I think we can really trust Clay and Shelly. I think they're trustworthy, and we saw that last week, and blah, blah, blah. So Shelly's kind of just like taking it with a grain of salt and brushing it off. So then Austin joins the conversation, and Audrey's asking them, like, do you guys have any advice for me this week for my game? And they're like, look, we're going to be straight up with you right now. You are safe this week. Everybody wants you out of the house. We're not going to put you up. And they're basically telling her, like, do not F this up for us, because we are going out on a limb here, not putting you up on the block. Do not screw it up. All right, there's your advice for the week. So let's talk about the twins. They had a swap last night. The actual Liz is in the house. Will the real Liz Nolan please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up. So she leaves the diary room, goes right up to the HOH, and she gives Vanessa and Austin a big hug. Obviously, Julia told her, like, people know now. People know. So Liz is just like, what's going on? Ha! So then Clay and Shelly go upstairs. They're all excited. They're jumping around. They're filling her in on some stuff, giving her advice about how she can, you know, pull this off with her twin, like covering up birthmarks or like drawing on birthmarks. Come on, people. The house freaking knows. At this point, you're not fooling anybody. You just want to try and keep them in the house if you're going to work with them. So Vanessa's like really taking this seriously. She sees Liz eating these gummy bears in the HOH room, and she's like, stop eating those gummy bears. And at first it's like a joke, and then she's like, no, I'm serious. Like, stop right now. No more. But I just have to mention, like, it's kind of sad because you can tell that they all, like, love Liz, and they're just kind of like, meh about Julia. So it's kind of awkward. But speaking of the twins, John has a very interesting method for figuring out which one's which. So he noticed with his dentist skills that Julia has a crown on tooth number 9, which I'm pretty sure is this one. So he was like, I'm going to see if this other chick has a crown on the same tooth, or if it's real or whatever. So he goes up to the HOH room, and he's pretending to, like, take pictures of people like this. So he's like, Liz, give me a smile. So he's trying to, like, look at her teeth. I don't know if he actually got a long enough look, but that's his strategy for figuring it out. Alright, so let's talk about Jeff. He seems really nervous this week with Vanessa and Austin as the HOHs, and he should be. So Jeff was talking to Austin and Clay, and he was really pushing for Audrey and Steve to be the 2 potential targets this week, 2 potential backdoors. So he was really pushing that, and he had talked earlier with James and Meg about pushing this idea. So, like, all 3 of them were telling Austin and Vanessa about this. So Austin tells him, like, yeah, Audrey is the target this week, which is not true. But he's like, yeah, she's going to be going up. Like, we need pawns to pull this off. So Jeff was like, okay. So then they talk again later, and Jeff is telling Austin all about the twin rumors and the theory, and Austin is just, like, acting surprised about it, pretending he has no idea. I mean, he really was, like, the last person in the house to know, which is pretty funny, considering how close he is to them, but yeah, he was just like, I'll look into it. So then Jeff, of course, is just like, yeah, one of the twins is into me, and one of them likes you. Jeff! Oh my god, no, just stop, like, no. Do you really want to be on TMZ again? So Jason and Vanessa had a solid chat in the HOH room. I think this was really good for Jason because with Day gone now, he kind of needs to rebuild. He needs a new partner that he can work closely with. So he spills some information to her. He lets her know that Day did have the last laugh power, and he also lets Vanessa know that Audrey was the other vote for Day. He knows. So she was like, thank you for telling me that. So then they break down like the different groups in the house, and they have a really great chat about it, and they're talking about how they want to work together. So it's pretty interesting. This morning was the final scramble before nominations. Once again, our poor Johnny Mac has agreed to be nominated and to throw the Battle of the Block competition this week. Don't let them use you, Johnny! So, here's the plan. Vanessa wants to put up John and James, and Austin wants to put up Jason and Meg. And then Vanessa's hoping that John will throw the competition, she'll stay the HOH, and then they'll backdoor either Jeff or they're telling people Audrey, but they're not going to backdoor Audrey unless they have to. If like somebody wins the POV, you know what I mean. So Vanessa shares this plan with Clay and Shelly, and they're just like, yay, this is awesome. Alright, so then Vanessa and Austin confirm for sure the deal with Johnny Mac. They're just like, Johnny, you throw that Battle of the Block, and you'll have safety from us until 1 week into jury. Wow. So they tell him, you're not going to be a pawn, we're not going to backdoor you, we're not going to vote against you, and if we hear your name coming up in conversation, we're going to let you know about it. So they tell him, like, you have nothing to worry about, the plan is to backdoor Audrey. Again, not true. But he's just like, yeah, alright. I mean, what else is he going to say? Fuck you! No, he's not going to say that. So then Vanessa and Austin are talking to Steve, and they let him know, like, your name has come up quite a bit to be put up on the block. So they let him know, like, everyone's targeting you right now, but we're not after you, so you should work with us. So they tell him about the Liz and Julia twin twist. They let him know, like, yeah, it's legit. They told us about it. We're working with them. So they propose this Freaks and Geeks alliance with Steve. It's going to be the three of them, and then Liz and Julia. And Steve is all about it. He's like, yeah, let's do this. I'll work with the twins. So hopefully he's not going to tell anybody about it. I feel like he won't because he's pretty good about keeping information in. But anyway, they had nominations today, and as planned, Vanessa nominated James and Johnny Mac. Austin nominated Jason and Meg. Meg and Jason were not happy about being nominated again, so they pull Austin into the cabana room, and they're letting him know, like, we're pissed. Why are we up on the block? There's all these people that are just sitting pretty, like Shelly and Clay. You could have put one of them up. So he's just like, well, I don't know. So Meg and Jason are just like, you're setting a precedent here that it's acceptable for the same people to be pawns over and over again. They don't want this to keep happening. So Austin's just like, guys, just chill. Like, Audrey is the backdoor plan this week. If that doesn't happen, we're going to backdoor Steve. So just, like, relax. I don't think they're buying it. But anyway, Johnny and Becky have a little chat in the storage room. And Johnny Mac is just like, yeah, some crazy stuff's going to happen this week. I can't share details with you, but don't freak out. There's some big stuff in motion. These two are supposed to be, like, really close allies, and, like, they can't even give details. Come on, y'all need to talk game better. Like, this is not the first time that I've seen Becky talk to someone that she's close to and, like, not mention names. What? What is going on? So, they had the Battle of the Block competition today. The host was Shelly, and the winners were Jason and Meg, which means that they're safe. Austin has been dethroned, and as planned, Vanessa's the HOH for the week, and James and John are still on the block. So, hopefully, I'll have more details for you guys about the competition tomorrow, because the feeds were off for like 3 hours at least, so I don't know what type of competition it was yet, but like I said, hopefully tomorrow we'll know. And they should have the Power Vita competition tomorrow. Should be interesting. So, let me know what you guys think about all this, and until tomorrow, much love.
Edit.